This is the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, Jeep's flagship vehicle. In fact, this car is so big, it's so big that it can actually fit the original Grand Wagoneer on the inside. The original Grand Wagoneer is a very iconic car. It is the second most important car for Jeep after the World War II Jeep. In fact, that car had wood on the side as well, which is crazy. People put wood on the inside. Jeep used to put wood on the outside back in the day. So those design elements should have been there on this car, but they are not. Now let's look at the key. It says Grand Wagoneer right here. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, this is to actually turn on the vehicle, this is to reduce the ride height of the vehicle, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. I will quickly show you the ride height right now because it has been raised by 90 mm with a ground clearance of 254 mm, which is absolutely crazy. If I press this button twice, the ride height will drop. I don't know why the function is not working right now. Maybe the car has to be on. So I'll turn on the car by pressing this button twice, and when I do that, the car turns on in 3, 2, 1, and there it rose to life, which is amazing. The mirrors obviously open then. Now this car is huge, but before we get into the size and all those aspects, let me quickly turn off the car. Yeah, there it shuts off. Let's lock the vehicle as well. Now there's a running board, you notice, which is power retractable. It will automatically go back inside when you close the door, but right now I don't know why it's not working. Maybe some setting to do with this vehicle. Let's get inside and straight away let me turn on the vehicle by pressing the engine start button. And you know what, it actually shows an animation here, which is quite cool. Let's turn on the indicators, let's turn on the lights as well, both the front and rear lights, and let's open the hood of the vehicle. There is something here which I need to, oh yeah, there it is. And let's step outside. So even though the ground clearance is massive, it's easy to get in and out, which is such a nice thing. Straight away, let's open the engine bay of the vehicle, and obviously it is having gas struts. It says twin turbo, no, the V8 has been discontinued. But the engine bay is not that massive actually, but it is massive because earlier a V8 used to sit right here. But the engine is placed way too ahead into the cabin, maybe for better weight distribution and not to have a nose heavy front. And I like how there are 6 elements here to tell you this is actually a 6-cylinder engine. Okay, 6 elements here also. Is this an 18-cylinder engine? Is this a Bugatti? Bugatti doesn't have 18 cylinders, but the original concept had a V18. Anyways, it says Wagoneer here, designed in and built in. The location name has been mentioned. Is this the map of the place? Born in America. So proud that it's not born in China, or actually is not manufactured in China. Yippee! Washer fluid goes in right here. A lot of empty space. That is the battery of the vehicle. In fact, it has some signs here. Can you tell me exactly what is that? Obviously, it gets insulation. And let's shut this. Now, this car has crazy amount of tech. For starters, when you approach the car, it has this animation on the lights, which is quite cool. When you leave the car also, that animation is there. In fact, it has got dynamic swipe indicators, which you can see. It says Jeep Performance LED on the inside, and the lights are actually very effective. I don't know why right now the fog lights are not working, so we're going to try turning them on again. And yeah, now the front fogs have been turned on. This will actually remind you of the Kia Seltos sort of ice cube treatment here. So 3 of them right there. Parking sensors, 6 of them obviously because it has got self-park. There is a camera there for radar, and there is obviously the rain sensor as well. I don't know why this treatment is there because it's not open, it's closed. I mean, it is definitely closed. This car, being the flagship Jeep, does not have any Jeep logo only. It says Wagoneer here at the front. No, it does not say any Jeep anywhere. Yeah, it does say it in 2-3 places. I'll show you. There's a front camera here with a washer as well. 7 slat grill, a typical Jeep thing, which obviously brands like Mahindra have copied. This is the radar, the front radar for ADAS. And there is this camera, which is for the night vision camera. It's an infrared camera. Towing hook here, another towing hook right there, because it's an SUV. It needs to be able to tow as much as possible. And coming to the side of the car, I realized, my goodness, this is huge. Yeah, the length is massive. This is actually the short wheelbase. There's a long wheelbase version as well. So the length of this car is more than 5.5 meters. The wheelbase is more than 3.1 meters. The longer wheelbase version is even bigger, obviously, because it has a longer wheelbase by 180 mm and the length is longer by 254 mm. That one has a length of 5758 millimeters, which is more than 5.7 meters long. Crazy, and a wheelbase of more than 3.3 meters. Insane. The ground clearance is around 254 mm, raised by 90 mm because it has got S suspension, and you can see the ride height is like massive. It's crazy. And that is the suspension, the air suspension of the vehicle. So what is the tire size? 285, 45, 22. I like the design of the alloy wheels. It says Wagoneer here. No, it does not say Jeep there at all. You can get either 20-inch or 22-inch wheels. I think 21 inches are not available at all. There's a reflector treatment here. In fact, Jeep badging is right here. And if you notice, it has the Wagoneer silhouette right there. That is the FASTag known as Salik here. There's obviously a camera here on the side. Grand Wagoneer written there. And there's a lot of glass area in this car, which is absolutely crazy. Straight away, let's get inside. So firstly, there's the Wagoneer, and then there's the Grand Wagoneer. The Wagoneer also has the same length. It's available both in short wheelbase and long wheelbase versions. The Grand Wagoneer is basically the luxury version of the Wagoneer. So let's get inside. Request sensors on all the doors. There's a sun blind which is manual, which is quite surprising because at this price, I don't expect manual stuff. Lot of wood, obviously, on the inside, not on the outside like the original. You can unlock and lock the car from the rear. One touch up and down power windows actually are tinted here so that the heat does not get inside. Door pockets are also massive, lot of leather, beautifully done. And look at the treatment here for the speakers. It's just amazing. That's the tweeter. This is the speaker. What a beautiful car. Crazy attention to detail. Now, if you see, there's good amount of space here. I just climb in like this, and I appreciate the fact that there's a lot of legroom. Under thigh support is also good. Headroom is also very impressive. And then there's a screen here. This car has 75-inch worth of screens. 75-inch, which is crazy. I'll show you how that is possible. So this is not the long wheelbase version. The long wheelbase version has captain chairs as standard and also has a 10.25-inch tablet here to operate this particular screen, which is right now on a vacation. Chalu ho ja bhai. I mean, chalu hi hai, isliye chalu nahi ho rahi. So with this screen, you can, I think, stream media and all that, obviously. And if you notice, center passenger also gets a head. Seats are extremely comfortable. Here, get the climate control menu. Let's turn on the air conditioning. How does it turn on? Why is it not turning on? Before that, let me show you. There's actually a laptop charger here, 2 USB-C, 2 USB-A and a 12-volt charging socket. Well, there are more charging sockets here. So you can connect a USB-C as well as an HDMI as well as an aux here. Same is the case on that screen as well. This is scooped out. There's a magazine holder here. And you can turn off the screen. Let me turn it on. So you got seat heating and ventilation for the rear seats. And when you turn on the climate control, which for variously weird reasons is not happening at the moment, well, you get a display right here, which is cool. I'm just cleaning everything because there's so much dust flying here. Center passenger is comfortable because this is almost flat, which is a good thing. And if the screen turns on, you will see it in the B-roll. Till then, just see my face giving a thumbs up. There's a handle to hold on to, height adjustable seat belts at the front, AC vents placed here as well as here. This car is truly massive. You get a panoramic roof as well. There's a mic here. What is this? This is the interior camera. You can actually monitor every passenger from here, which is again crazy if you ask me. Beautiful door handles with leather on it, double stitching as well. Light placement here. There's a tweeter or speaker. I don't know, something is there for sure. Says airbag, multiple airbags, and the dashboard is just amazing. What a dashboard. Seems a bit Mercedes inspired to me. But anyways, let's get out because there's a lot more to see in this car. Now, if I want to go to the rear, what do? Firstly, let me put the headrest properly. I press this button and there it moves the seat all the way ahead and I can simply climb into the rear. So that is the rear seat. This is an 8-seater. The long wheelbase version is a 7-seater. Okay, there's good amount of space if the seat is ahead. There's some storage space here. In fact, I can electrically move the seat ahead and behind. Yes, that also happens, which is quite cool. The third row passengers have not been ignored. You also get a USB-C as well as a USB-A charging socket. AC vent here, massive window area, which is crazy. Defogging function on this window as well. There's a hook here on the top, and guess what? The third row passengers also get their own sunroof. This does not open, but manual sunblind, which is still crazy if you ask me. Proper headrest. Yeah, everyone gets proper headrest, proper seatbelt as well. I think that's a microphone there. And let me show you the legroom here, which is actually quite good. Yeah, even if I sit in the center, yeah, it is decent, but under thigh support is never good for third row passengers because those are the people you hate. There's a hook here. If you want to secure some stuff, you can do that as well. And if you want to fold the seat, you can pull it like this. So that is manual. That's so wrong. How could Jeep do that? Anyways, let me okay. Yeah, there it went ahead because there's a button to do that. Let's push this back into place. Yeah, and another important thing is there are some buttons here. Somewhere I saw some buttons with which you can move this seat as well. Yeah, the buttons are actually here. So if I press this button, I can actually recline the seats. So we'll do that from the other side. Yeah, the buttons are here actually. I don't know why I was not able to spot them. Let's get outside. Getting in and out is surprisingly not difficult. I never expected that. I can press a button to put the seat down. Yes, this has electric seats, but it's not all that fancy. I'll tell you why. Let me put that seat back up. I press the same button and there it rolls back up. I'm noticing one thing, yeah, that the window area is like huge. Yeah, this is so full of glass area, which is amazing. Let's push this seat back into place. Yeah, there it is. Now, if I want to push this down, this is how I fold it. and then I have to put it manually back up. So bit of effort required from my end, but this car does not get soft closed door function. Yeah, that is a bit disappointing. Says Mopar here, and if you notice, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear is what it says. Heated mirrors, yeah, that is the sign for the same. In fact, it also gets the blind spot alert triangle there, and two types of mirrors. One is to ensure that you don't get blind spot, but it also has an alert function there, so that's kind of cool. And this makes sure that the window also gets defogged, and it says Grand Wagoneer here, beautifully written. Glove box is big, not really. It's actually small, because I don't know what this rope is. It's for people who watch 50 Shades of Black. And there's a pouch here from IBM. I don't know why that is the case. There's a radio instruction manual, which nobody's bothered to open because nobody listens to radio anymore. Meanwhile, this is the owner's manual, which is massive. Like, it's like 1457 pages. Yeah, that is huge. Well, that's what she said. Let me put this back, because this is like crazy. Will this shut? No, it will not. Yeah, there it's shut. Now, it says Wagoneer here, Grand Wagoneer here, airbag there. So lot of branding everywhere. And straight away, let me sit on the co-driver seat. The reason I'm doing that is because there's a screen here. So dusty now, so I have to clean the screen first, and let's turn on the screen. So this is the passenger screen. I have to go into this setting and then turn on the screen, otherwise it will not open. So we get into vehicle here, and I have to go through a few things. Passenger screen permissions, what am I doing? Where am I? Come on, turn on. Yeah, it's a bit of a effort to browse through so many things. No, actually I can just press a button here, and there turns on the passenger screen. So the passenger screen cannot be seen by the driver, which is a good thing. It can only be seen by the person sitting here. You can see a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's filled with a lot of things. In fact, it has got Fire TV. So you have got Netflix, you have got Amazon Prime. You can do a lot of stuff from this screen, making you very productive. And the best thing is you have vehicle camera apps right here. So when I turn on, I can see a lot of cameras, like the surround view camera. I can monitor everything. I can be a co-driver and piss off the driver. Yeah, all the views. And then there's the fam cam, which when I turn on, you will see, I can see so many cool stuff. I can press on any seat to actually see that particular seat, but I'll show this to you in a better way from this center screen, because the center screen is a freaking center screen. There it says Jeep. Can you see that? I don't know. I don't care. Okay, very dusty. We'll just leave the tissue here because we'll have to clean it before I show you everything around. I'm just disappointed there's no soft touch, or rather soft closed door function. Come on, you're paying so much. You at least deserve that. Let's come to the rear of the vehicle. The problem with this car is it looks very much like the Jeep Grand Cherokee. It does not have an identity of its own in terms of design. So this family design is not really working for me. This is the rear fog lamp. You get 6 parking sensors at the rear. That is the exhaust of the vehicle. You can see the underbody and the spare wheel, which is not an alloy. It is also smaller size. I can't really read the tire. No, I can. 275, 65. What is it? Is it a 16-incher? That's like really chintu mintu, and you can see the suspension as well. Alright, he has this sort of gloss black finish here. Says Series 3, not really, it says Series something, that's not 3 for sure, but this is actually the Series 3. So there's Series 1, Series 2 and Series 3, which is sort of the variant name of the vehicle. Not really the generation of the car, but just the variant name, which is a weird way of naming the variant. By the way, it has another exhaust on the other side, so dual exhaust for the win. And it says Quadra drive through, which is the name of the 4-wheel drive system. I like the dynamic swipe indicators at the rear. Look at this, isn't that super cool? Again, it has these approach lights. When you come to the rear, it will do this sort of an animation. When you lock the car, again, it will do that sort of an animation, which is really cool. There's a camera here with a washer function. There's a camera here as well with a washer function. You get a rear wiper washer with some design element here. Lot of design elements on this car. In fact, this is from where the washer fluid comes out. Says Grand Wagoneer. Now just imagine 2 letters fall off from here. Then your car becomes an Ola car or an Uber car. Why? Because then it becomes the Grand Wagoneer. Really bad joke, but pardon me. I'm in the desert alone early morning, so obviously I come up with real crap. Meanwhile, there's a shark fin antenna here. This is one of the few cars which is actually taller than me. You get a high mounted stop lamp as well. And I think somewhere here, you can also get the towing thing. Yeah, this should open somehow from inside, I think, because it seems to have a hinge here. Anyways, let's open the boot by pressing a button. Power tailgate, obviously. The boot size is 765 liters. However, the long wheelbase version has 1245 liters of boot storage, which is crazy with all the 3 rows up, by the way, which is 480 liters more than this car. And if you notice, you can keep a lot of stuff on the inside. Now this is, I think, the warning triangle. It says Stellantis on it. Yeah, the toolkit, warning triangle, first aid kit, all those things have been kept right here. And you have a speaker or subwoofer here. I don't know what this is, maybe to secure your luggage. And if you notice, it has a 12-volt charging socket here and multiple buttons. So there are 3 buttons. Firstly, there's a hook here, and if I want to recline the seat, all I have to do is press this button. Yeah, I pressed the button on both the sides. Now you see the boot actually becomes a house. It has become massive. Look at the amount of space. Isn't that crazy? Meanwhile, I'm going to do that for the second row as well. There it drops down. Why has the center one not dropped down? That's kind of weird. So no power for the second one, which is like really stupid. And the worst thing is that it only drops down electrically. It does not come back up electrically, which means you have to do it manually. That's a basic feature. Even something like, say, the Ford Endeavour had. I know, only for the third row, but still, come on, that could have been a lot better. But look at this, it's massive. You need the captain chairs, then only the center passenger can also fall down, otherwise he's upright. There's a light placement here, another light placement here, says airbag right here, and if I want to shut the boot, I press a button here. Meanwhile, there's a light here as well, and then you can push it like this. Power tailgate, so very much similar to what we see in a lot of Jeep cars. Nothing fancy here. I mean, a lot of stuff is very, very similar here. Meanwhile, this is where fuel goes in. Some instructions of how to fuel up the car, because there's nothing open, you have to push it inside. That's what she said. It says Jeep on the inside. Obviously, a lot of attention to detail here and there. And let's come to the rear seat again, because I need to put the seats back into place. And there it goes. In fact, you can push the seat ahead and behind because there's a lever to do the same. So yeah, it does slide quite a lot, which means you can compromise with the third row passengers and give them some space. If I want to recline this now, I have to pull it from here. Now it is flat. Yeah, let's do that. It hits the screen, breaks the screen, and then the owner of this car is not happy with me. So many things to press. Can't everything be electric, or am I asking for too much? I'm asking for too much. Not really. Okay, how do I? Oh my god, I'm kind of stuck here. Struggle is quite real.
2 very boring minutes later.
No, it doesn't work that way. When the seat is down, there is no way you can move the seat behind. Now you can see this car is not a car, it's a freaking house. You can carry so much stuff.
चले यार सामला एक काम करते हैं अपन ये दीवार को खसका के ये बाजू का कमरा अंदर ले लेते हैं अपना एरिया बढ़ जाएगा यहाँ पे.
By the way, this is a suede liner, which is just amazing in terms of quality. Chalu ho ja screen. Okay, it says you are offline. The reason you can't really see the screen is because the lights are on. So I'm going to turn off the lights, because when the lights are on now, you can't see much here. Now you can see the screen, hopefully. Now also it's quite dim. Yeah, it's very dim as such, but you can see it says Prime Video there, Netflix and all those things. So you can do a lot of stuff. I believe right now that the lights are not really off, although I turned it off. So I'm just going to put it to auto, and let's hope that the lights actually turn off. Yeah, now obviously it's visible. So there's Netflix, there's Amazon Prime, YouTube, and it says you are offline. So this is the screen which lets the rear seat passengers get entertained as well. Let's shut this door and let me quickly open the boot once again. Oh my god, the wind is just way too much. It's crazy windy right now. You can see everything's flying. This is just massive. Trust me on this. This car is even bigger than the Mercedes GLS and the BMW X7. That's how huge it is. I wish the button was here, but the button is here. So press this button and there it shuts. Band ho ja. Thoda slow hai, but it gets the job done. Obviously, it has to. Now let's get inside to the driver's seat, because obviously that is a place you really want to be. This Jeep written somewhere here. I had seen some Jeep branding somewhere. Not able to find it right now. Okay, this is the vehicle registration, not registration, like the chassis number of the vehicle is planted right here, which a lot of brands are doing right now. Roof rails on the top. I'm going to climb and show it to you. Yeah, these are the roof rails, and there's some aerodynamic effect there, which is kind of cool. Let's get inside. Okay, I'm going to press 1 here to adjust the seat. If you notice, the seat is moving, and see the under thigh support will move a lot here. Yeah, the under thigh support is crazy big once it's like elongated. The steering is also moving. So memory seats, memory steering, memory mirrors, everything has the memory function. Seat has moved quite a lot. It says Series 3 here. Leather seats, amazing seats, which are adjustable in 24 ways. So you adjust it using this button here, yeah, all these buttons are there for adjusting memory function. You can save up to 2 people settings, and these are the power window controls, lock and unlock the car. This is to obviously adjust the outside rear view mirrors, and it's become very dusty. One touch up and down, obviously. Macintosh speakers, 24 speakers, 1375-watt output, good amount of storage space. You get an ashtray here, you don't get an umbrella holder. This is not a Nexon or a Skoda. Meanwhile, it tells you that this is an export vehicle, shows you a lot of information about the vehicle here, and the dashboard looks awesome. Now, this is obviously the electric parking brake. These are the controls for adjusting the headlights, and this is for the headlight leveler. But the pedals are a bit too ahead, which is uncomfortable. So I press a button and the pedals actually go back. Yes, this car actually has, yeah, okay, that is also having a memory function. So I'm putting the pedals ahead. Yeah, with a touch of a button, you can adjust the position of the pedals. Can you freaking believe that? Isn't that too much attention to detail? Yeah, these are the buttons to do the same. Absolutely maddening. And then electric adjust for the steering wheel. Obviously, let's get inside and you're going to love the dashboard. But before that, let's get into some cleaning act because everything seems to be super duper dirty right now. Now it has this massive panoramic roof. I press this button to open this. There it opens. Obviously, it is very hot and very bright, but I still have to show you this function. That's the wind deflector, obviously. It opens till here. Does it open any further? Yeah, it does. Now look at that. That's quite big. Well, that's what she said. And then there's a sun blind here, and then obviously it tilts also. The usual bits which you get from sunroofs, obviously. Here you get a mirror along with two lights as well. The finishing is just amazing. Suede finishing here. And well, the steering has this classic two-spoke treatment because the original also had a two-spoke. Meanwhile, forgot to show you a few things here. It says level 0 here. I don't even know what that means. And if you notice here, it says 1963, established 1963 with the Grand Wagoneer silhouette, which is not that easy to see. It's very difficult to spot. If I had not done massive research, I would have never spotted that. They could have made it a little darker or better colored, but no, that is not what they have done here. Now, like I was telling you, there's a lot of screens here, but unfortunately, the front gets 0 charging sockets. I'm just kidding. If I press this button here, this screen actually folds, revealing multiple charging ports. Firstly, there's a cigarette lighter here because Americans think smoking is cool. 2 USB-C charging sockets. This is for the rear. How does that work? I don't know. HDMI for the passenger. USB-C, USB-A, USB-C, USB-A, aux, USB-C, USB-A. That's crazy. There's a wireless charging pad here as well. And then I can move the cigarette lighter. I can shut this because it's also 12 volt. And that is super duper cool. When you close and open the screen here, this is actually a 10.25 inch screen. That is also 10.25 inch screen. This is a 12 inch screen. This is a 12.3 inch screen. So many screens. What are they doing? And there's another screen here because there's a camera here. So you flip the screen to turn on the camera. Lot of buttons here. Basically, these buttons are for the lights as well as for the sunroof functions. And it also has SOS because this has connected car, obviously. And I love the fact that the finishing here is just amazing. And it obviously extends to, which is something you would expect at this price point. The dashboard is like massive. It's huge. In fact, even the engine start stop button has this nice effect to it. They could have just put it like this normally, but no, they wanted to design it with some leather and they have done a fab job there. So first things first, there is so much sand here. We're just going to clean it quickly. So this is actually the gas selector. Unfortunately, you cannot just press it inside to come into neutral or park. No, that does not happen. This is to alter the ride height of the vehicle. So I'm just going to put the ride height to the lowest position right now. Come on, drop the ride height. Why is it not doing it? I don't know. The car has slept. This is for some mode for the off-road function because when you get into four-wheel drive low, you can press this button. Maybe it is for the off-road cruise control system. These are the drive modes of the car. A lot of buttons here. This is for mute, this is for stop start system, this is for auto hold, this is for lane keep assist, this is for the hazard, this is for traction control, this is for self park, this is for parking sensors, this is for tow haul. It can actually tow almost 5,000 kgs, which is crazy. What is the screen? This is for the climate only. So we turn on the air conditioning. You can decide how you want the air conditioning. You can decide the massage here. So I'm just going to turn on the massage. Yeah, no, actually this is for the adjustment of the seat. So you can move the side bolsters as well, which is crazy. So I'm just going to show it to you here by moving the side bolsters. Honestly, you can't really see it. You have to probably sit on the seat to really experience it. So you can alter a lot of things. Then there are multiple ways to massage: high, medium and low, waterfall, lower back, extend, lower extend, rock climb. Massage functions, you can decide if you want the upper part or the lower part to get massage. So we're going to turn it off. Both the front passengers get the massage function, and then you can turn on the rear air conditioning from here. When you do that, obviously the screen turns on, and then I'm just going to turn it off right now. I'm going to turn off everything. Massage is off or what? Yeah, I've adjusted the lumbar. I can turn off the screen here if I want. Touch of a button. Lot of buttons here for the air conditioning controls, which is good to have physical buttons everywhere. And this screen is actually quite cool. Before that, you have to see that AC vents are on the side. AC vents are here also. It says Macintosh right there. This is the very first car in the automobile industry to get Macintosh speakers, which is the Bose equivalent. Handle to hold on to when you climb in. Caution, do not use something. Nobody cares about it. And let's look into the screen, because this screen has a lot of stuff in it. I don't know why it is so colorful right now, but we are going to take an upper angle. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are wireless here. Get into comfort. You can obviously alter the air conditioning, seats, massage, and all those things. So why do you need this screen when this screen can do everything? I don't know. They were like, let's put as many screens as possible. I think they were aiming for a record, obviously. You can see a lot of information here. So this is obviously for the roll and pitch, for the suspension. You can browse through here. Crazy amount of information in this car. Get into media, then there's navigation, which is quite cool. Here is the phone menu, and then there's a vehicle menu, which again will blow your mind because there is so many things to do. Uconnect Theater. This is actually the Uconnect 5 system, which is the latest one from Jeep. And here there are a lot of other things, but I'm actually going to come into the off-road pages. Similar stuff if you have ever driven a Jeep Compass. So open, pitch, roll, select terrain, suspension. You can see the ride height right now. Put the ride height down, but it's not happening. Small glitches here and there. Accessory gauges. Too much information. Vehicle dynamics. It shows you if you have locked any, if you lock the rear axle, or if you've turned on the transfer case and all that. You can obviously see here. Now, there are 5 colors for the ambient lighting, only 5, which is quite less, and you can decide which zone you want to alter. So there's the front zone and the rear zone. Right now they put the front zone at red, rear zone at yellow. Let's come out. 5 colors is like very less. You can turn on the driver seat ventilation as well. Now this is the fam cam, which is really very cool. I shown you where the camera is. You can see a view, and you can just click on any seat you want to actually see what is exactly happening in that seat. So this is like next level monitoring. Yeah, Americans love to obviously monitor a lot of things. So this is another one of those things which the Americans like to monitor. And then what is this relax button? Let's get into that. It's taking some time to load. Oh my god, it's putting me into relaxation. Yeah, it's soothing me right now. So it's similar to what Mercedes also has. So I can change into fireplace, and this is the car, or what is this therapist session happening for me right now? Isn't that super duper cool? So you can obviously change all that. Yeah, cars are becoming very gimmicky these days. So many menus to browse through now, it can get a bit confusing. The navigation obviously is inbuilt, but it's not very accurate. You can get lost, you can do wrong things, go into the wrong places as well. So that's something you need to be a bit careful about. Yeah, this car is absolute fire. I can drop the second row headrest, third row headrest from here as well. Let's get into vehicle. It's just making sound because the seats are right now put down, and then there are a lot of ADAS functions too. So yeah, very loaded screen. Let's actually get into reverse because it gets a 360-degree parking camera with multiple modes. So yeah, that is something which is like kind of become basic now, and then you can obviously zoom it in as well. If you notice, there are some buttons here. This is for seat heating, this is for seat ventilation, and you can decide how you want the zones to work. So there are 2 zones for it, whether you want it down or whether you want it up. Up or down, you can decide. Steering also gets the heating function. Let me just shut this. Same is the case for the co-passenger as well. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's quite bright and it's quite sandy here inside this car. Which brings me to the steering wheel of this vehicle. And this is obviously cruise control function, cruise control buttons, adaptive cruise control, lot of buttons here. These are the buttons for operating a lot of things, including the audio phone and this particular screen right here. So this screen has a lot of information. So I can get into trip A and trip B, then I can get into another menu. It's not the slickest to use. That is a tire pressure monitor. It gives me so much information, which is quite crazy. Yeah, this is an information overload. I can't believe it's giving 5.7 kilometers per liter in spite of just being a 6-cylinder engine. It's a drinker of sorts, even though I'm not driving fast. Adaptive cruise control settings. You can change to miles per hour. Night vision starting. So the infrared camera which I was showing you, this is how it looks. It takes some time to load. And there it is, the infrared camera, which is good because it shows you vehicles as well as pedestrians. And now we are going to come into another menu, which is for the audio system. And then, yeah, that's about it. However, this thing is absolutely vast because it shows me vehicle dynamics. Why did it come out from there? Yeah, I pressed the wrong button actually. So it can get a bit messy. I'm just going to come back into that particular menu right now. And there it is. So it shows me what is the ground clearance right now, off-road to roll, pitch, and all those things. So you can see too much information here, which is absolutely crazy. Let's turn off the car. It says rear seat what is it saying for rear seat? I have no idea. Anyways, let's open the door. Oh my god, I'm sweating like crazy because it's so damn hot right now. But never mind, I gotta do what I gotta do. What a lovely interior, absolutely mind-blowing. And let's just get out because the car refuses to reduce the ride height. Meanwhile, there's a light which comes out from the door handle, which is quite cool. Every window is actually tinted here, yet there's so much heat coming inside. Let me see where the child lock function is. It is here, so you have to actually put the key and twist it to actually activate the child lock. Yeah, that's how it's done. Let's shut this. I love the fact that everything in this car has too much attention to detail. That is my sweat coming out of my hand because it's so damn hot, because of which I forgot to show you that this thing also opens. First and foremost, this slides USB-A, USB-C. Wherever they see a place, they will put a USB-A and a USB-C. I thought it's on both the sides. This is the vehicle registration number. Every year the vehicle has to be re-registered or the registration has to be renewed. This is the button for cooling function. So there is some stuff lying here, mobile clamp. This can actually be opted for as a locked one as well. So you can lock it if you want. That's also cool. So if you want to carry a lot of cash, this is the place to do it. Now let me turn on the vehicle, because every time I do that, it obviously shows me some animation. And the wipers are automatic, the headlights are automatic, so you're going to use the wipers right away. There they go. Obviously so much spray, so you need a big washer fluid tank. And let me shut the car, get out. Why does the ride height not go down? I don't understand. The car is like, nahi karungi, jo karna hai kar lo, nahi karungi. So it just does not listen to me. Even though this is on auto function right now, the ride height refuses to drop. Nope, not happening, absolutely not happening. Let me see if I can do something from here. So you can turn on the mirror dimmer from right here. Yeah, the screen is having so much stuff now. It's absolutely crazy. There's a surround camera here. Press this button, there it turns on. Now the good thing is that this is a 360-degree camera, which actually shows me my door is open, but does not show a sunroof here. I don't know why. That's kind of weird, and this I cannot move it around. Power side step. I press this button and there it rolls back out. I press this button and there it rolls back in. So it is also supposed to work by automatically reclining whenever I get in and out of the car. Rear view camera, there is the one. Just want to see the rear view camera, then I can see that. And screen I can turn off. I can obviously put permissions for the same. I can do a lot of stuff there. Let's get outside. I know this video is going really very long, but this car is so loaded now that initially I thought I'm going to make a 1 hour video. Maybe I am nearing that 1 hour mark. Anyways, let's shut the car and now let's try to put the ride height down. It's actually making some light animations to tell me that it has received my command, but it fails to acknowledge the same. So I'm just going to press this button and let's see whether it rolls down all the windows. It will definitely roll down a few windows. At least the driver's side should roll down. Lock the car, keep this button pressed.
Lot of boring math later.
Nope, windows are not rolling down, which is quite shocking. By the way, it also projects at night. Yeah, the mirror does that. And if you notice, this is absolutely vertical. This strut for keeping the boot open or opening the boot is absolutely vertical, which is something I've not seen in any car as such. So let this shut quickly and let me show you from where the light actually gets projected. From here, obviously. By the way, it says Jeep here as well. So these are the two places where Jeep badging has been done. Very subtle, huh, if you ask me. And once I get inside, I'm going to quickly turn on the car. There you can see the compass obviously comes because Jeep also makes the compass, says Grand Wagoneer. Nice animation there. And if I press this one button, you'll notice that the mirror is moving because it has got memory mirrors too. By the way, you can also opt for wireless hotspot. Yes, that is right. Wireless hotspot is also available as an option. Meanwhile, what did I want to do? I wanted to put something down. Why do I keep pressing the wrong buttons always? So second rest, head row, there it folds. Press the button and that also happens. The Volvo is here, which means it's time to get going. Let's start driving. Alright, it's time to turn on the vehicle and start driving. I'm excited for it because yes, this car is decently quick, says Grand Wagoneer here. Let's turn on the air conditioning both at the front as well as the rear. Park sense off. I don't know why it keeps doing all that. In fact, this screen can stay on. We have no problem with that. And here I'm actually going to come into off-road pages to able to see some pitch and roll data of the vehicle. Meanwhile, here also I'm going to change a few things. Actually, we'll start off with the night vision camera itself, and straight away I come into sport mode, come into drive. I know it's very dirty because there's so much sand almost everywhere. In fact, I'm eating sand right now and off we go, very smooth. So it is actually decreasing the ride height because we are in sport mode right now. And when I come across such big sand patches, I realize that the ride is not that great. But why is the ride not great? We'll talk about that in a bit. By the way, there's a heads-up display. Can you see that? Maybe not, but it's very small. You can put some data there, like obviously lane keep assist and all that. But it's no, oh my god, that was quite the jump. But it's not very loaded, so I'm a bit disappointed with the heads-up display because this car is so crazy in almost every way, but no heads-up display. You can see the night vision camera here, which is not that clear as such. And the engine actually sounds smooth. Should we exit from here? I have no idea where we are going, but okay, so there is a chance of getting stuck, although this is 4-wheel drive, but never mind. I'll just power through. Traction control light blinking continuously. So this car is actually powered by a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder engine, which is having 2 turbos. So earlier when this car was launched, it had a 6.4-liter NA V8, but this 3-liter is so good that this engine actually is more powerful and more efficient when compared to the 6.4. So downsizing hasn't really killed this car. We're going to stop here, and it's time for left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Let's turn on this camera as well. Revving the motor, rev till 3,500 RPM, and off we go. Performance is very brisk, and it has this 120 km/h speed warning, which is something becoming standard almost everywhere, not in developed countries like Europe or the US, but here it is definitely there. Engine is actually very smooth. It has got twin turbos, so it doesn't have any turbo lag as such. Motor performs really well, good and punchy. By the way, I see a Tesla Cybertruck right in front. It's parked on the left side. I'm just going to show it to you. There it is, the Tesla Cybertruck. My god, it's become so common here right now, but I don't know why people just park it and leave it.
Go f yourself.
Anyways, 6-cylinder engine, 24-valve DOHC motor, obviously 493 horsepower, which comes in at 5,700 RPM. So 493 horsepower is actually close to 500 horsepower. Okay, what am I even talking? Torque output 670 Newton meters. That 670 Newton meters of torque comes in at 3,500 RPM, which is like good enough. And we are going to change this display because we are going to see other aspects like vehicle dynamics and all those things. Ride height, I'm going to put it to the lowest. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. It says ride height not permitted due to speed. That's kind of weird. We're going to change this to select terrain. I don't know what that is. Suspension. Not much interesting. So I'm just going to turn on the camera of this vehicle by getting into vehicle, and we are going to turn on the surround camera. I don't know till what speed this is going to work, but left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving into a motor, and off we go. Engine is actually smooth, has a slight sporty sound to it as well. This has an 8-speed automatic transmission, which is smooth with shift, but there are no paddle shifters because behind this there are buttons. Right one is for volume, left one is to go ahead or behind a track. Typical Jeep way of doing things. But when you brake hard now, there is this nosedive under heavy braking. You can also hear the tire noise. And around the corners there is body roll because this car is very heavy. This is around 2,915 kgs, close to 3,000 kgs is the weight of this vehicle, making it very heavy. And the fuel efficiency is improved when compared to the 6.4 liter V8 because this one will return around 4 to 5 kilometers per liter. The 6.4 V8 used to drink a lot, 3 to 4 kilometers per liter. No mild hybrid, no strong hybrid, none of that. The Americans know how to guzzle all the fuel in the world. Started off with the Hummer and it is continuing with other cars as well. Now this car is quite the drinker. I'm not even underestimating the drinking possibility of this car because it just guzzles fuel, and that's the reason it has got 2 fuel tanks. One is a 100-liter fuel tank, the other fuel tank happens to be 45 liters. So 145 liters is the size of the tank, and there is a Ferrari right in front. You can hear a lot of stuff. It absolutely makes a lot of sound. That's a bit of a problem. How do we navigate through this? Let me figure this out. I'm just going to take it from the left. Don't move your Ferrari. I shall go around, and there we go. So performance is good in the mid-range as well. Top end also, it sounds smooth and nice. Yeah, this car is actually very impressive to drive. Only thing, it's too heavy. And why is it so heavy? Because it uses a truck platform, boss. So we're going to launch it again. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. The camera turned off on its own. We're going to turn on the family cam because we can, and off we go. So at launch they had the 6.4 liter V8 engine, which is now discontinued everywhere. So the Wagoneer actually got a 5.7 liter V8. This one got, the Grand Wagoneer got the 6.4 liter V8. So more power, baby, for the luxury version. But they've discontinued that engine because of poor fuel consumption. Besides the poor fuel consumption, it also wasn't that fast because it's a very old school engine. NA obviously, And yeah, it had the character, but this engine is just better. I don't subscribe to downsizing, but do I have an option? Absolutely not, I would say. So that's kind of unfortunate that they are downsizing, but this is quick enough. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.9 seconds. Top speed will be well about 220 kilometers per hour, and off we go again. Beautiful, like really very nice. Nothing is happening, there's no action here, so why are we even keeping this camera on? We will just change it, and I'm going to turn on the surround camera. Can be turned on at this speed. Okay, this got a ton of ADAS functions: forward collision warning, lane keep assist, everything is there inside, because level 2 ADAS has to be there, otherwise this car will not be able, I mean, you can't sell this car at all. The market where this car is aimed at, they're very strict in terms of safety. Another Cybertruck is standing right in front. So this car is actually based on the Dodge Ram 1500 pickup platform, and that's the reason the ride is not that great. It glides over good roads, but you hit a bad patch of roads and it shows its truck underpinnings. Even though it has got air suspension, it has got adaptive dampers, but low profile tires, not really helpful here, and that's the reason it just doesn't drive that well over bad roads, which is a bit of an issue. But it has 4,500 kgs of towing capacity, which is insane if you ask me, and the body roll is significant around the corners. The steering is also a bit vague. It's a very big sized steering wheel, so it doesn't really offer much feel or feedback, although it's direct enough, but still it's not a car you would like to push around corners, and the size is just too much. This being a short wheelbase, I'm finding it extremely difficult to drive it in the city because the size is just too big. Parking takes 2 car spots, that's how huge it is. The competition: Mercedes GLS, BMW X7, Lincoln Navigator, and the Cadillac Escalade. It seems to be bigger than all those cars in terms of size. That's how huge it is. So multiple drive modes, let me just read it from here, but first I need to clean. Rock, there's sand, mud, there's snow, there's auto, and there is sport, which basically alters the engine, the gearbox, the suspension, because air suspension obviously. In fact, it lowers the car automatically to aerodynamic ride height as you hit a certain speed. So all these functions are also there in this car. We're just going to use a wiper spray there. Okay, the spray is actually coming out from the wipers. Yeah, they're actually coming out from the wipers. So that's how smoothly it has been done. We're going to take a quick U-turn from somewhere here. Let's see the turning radius. This is a car which needs rear wheel steering, and probably it seems to be having one. I'm not sure. I'll verify this. If it has rear wheel steering, you will see a shot of it right now. If it doesn't have rear wheel steering, well, you will not see any shot. You will see my sweaty hands right away. So like I was telling you, it alters a lot of stuff. It has a 2-speed transfer case, so there's a low range transfer case as well. It has an electronic locking rear differential, so obviously it is quite capable off the road. Naturally it has to be, because this is the car which is obviously a true blue SUV. Okay, we're going to launch it here. I'm feeling so hot. Let's actually cool a bit. All right, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and off we go. There is no sport mode for the gearbox. There's no S mode here. There are no paddle shifters, so the gearbox is easy going here for sure, and I can't see anything here, so let's just change this mode. Now there's actually a Wagoneer S, which is basically the electric version of this car, which doesn't have anything to do with this car, but then everyone is launching EV, so Jeep is like, why not us also? So that electric version is basically known as the Wagoneer S. By the way, this comes with 4-wheel drive standard. The Wagoneer, not the Grand, that also comes with rear wheel drive for the lower variants, and then for higher variants it obviously has 4-wheel drive. So there's series 1, 2, 3. 1 is the base one, 2 is the mid one, which has this Obsidian black variant, which is basically, I think, color related, and then there's a series 3, which is obviously the top of the line. There's hill descent control, there is hill ascent control. Obviously a lot of electronics have been added here, but let's quickly go to the history of this vehicle. So the Grand Wagoneer was first launched way back when, in 1963, which had that wood on the side and became iconic. It became the replacement to the Willys station wagon. It was a station wagon till people coined the term SUV, and that's why it is really very iconic, because of the wood treatment on the side. It was on sale till 1993, so it was on sale for a real long time, and obviously it became really iconic. Let me come to a halt here and let's launch it right away. By the way, this car has 610 mm of water wading capacity. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, no launch control, and off we go. So Jeep actually went ahead and bought back the Grand Wagoneer in 2021 as a 2022 model as their flagship car, but I wish it took certain design cues from the original, because that's something which is definitely lacking here. So another thing which I don't understand about Jeep is that the Cherokee and Grand Cherokee have nothing in common, but the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer are kind of identical cars. This is more luxurious. By the way, the Cherokee has been discontinued after being on sale for almost 50 years. 49 years is till when it was sold. Then sales dropped, and then Jeep was like, we will make EVs now. Although they make the Avenger EV, they don't sell it in this market. They don't sell it in US as well. They only sell it in Europe because they're just too strict about emissions and all that. So they're like, yeah, le lo. It has got adaptive cruise control with stop and go. Obviously, it has got intersection collision assist. We are coming to an intersection, that's why I remember that. Drowsiness detection, also drowsiness driver detection, rear cross traffic alert, automatic high beam is there, and obviously it's just very loaded in terms of ADAS features, something you would expect from a car of this category, because sort of the flagship Jeep. It is not sort of, it is the very much flagship Jeep. So it has all the freaking features you would expect. And off we go. So this car's got a 3 years 60,000 kilometer warranty. By the way, it has 5 years and I think 1 lakh kilometer warranty for the engine itself. And it comes with a maintenance package of 3 years and unlimited kilometers, which you can actually extend to 5 years, 1 lakh kilometer for the service package. So yeah, the warranty is absolutely crazy here. Naturally, it has to be, because such an expensive car now, they have to give freebies here and there. I don't like the cornering of this car. There's so much roll here, but I have to admit, you get the feel of driving. You sit so high up, and this car is so massive. It has crazy road presence as well. In terms of braking performance, ABS seems too sensitive, but brakes are extremely strong here, and off we go. So guys, this is my video of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. It's quite an impressive car. It's huge in terms of size, offers great value for money, and this is a car we definitely deserve in India. Hopefully it is priced attractively, and if Jeep launches it, which is very doubtful considering they really don't launch much in India. They give us the least powerful engines as well. But if you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.